What does it take to raise a fairly helpless baby pangolin?
It takes as much attention as you'd give a human child. It really is an intense feeling to raise a baby pangolin. When eco guards do confiscations, we've had a few rescues like that. They normally come to us quite badly injured because they were attacked by poachers, and so that takes a lot of care. We've attempted to raise about 6 or 7 now. Been very successful with black-bellied pangolins, but the white-bellied pangolins seem to be much more difficult for us for some reason. Luckily, Born Free Foundation came back to the party and supplied us money to fly in a volunteer, a vet, Anthony, who you've met. And he and Tam, my wife, share the raising of the pangolin, and he's on standby in case there's any problems. You need to bottle feed it every 3 or 4 hours. You need to weigh it every day to see that it's healthy. You need to take it for walks to exercise it. You need to make sure it's peeing and pooping every day. You've got to keep to a routine. And with a nocturnal animal, you've got to try and make it more diurnal so that you can monitor it more easily. It is really more than a handful, but it's a very rewarding feeling.
How do you monitor? How do you find out if your release was successful?
And we have teams of Paaka, the local indigenous people, who are brilliant in the forest. Brilliant, unbelievably good in the forest. And they follow the pangolin during the day. And we've monitored 4 pangolins on an average of 2 years each post-release. So, and that gives us a lot of data as well. But that's how we do it. With the white-bellieds, it's much harder. They're too small to take any kind of radio collar or radio tracking thing because the batteries are just too large, and then they're also going through vegetation and climbing and going through thickets. You know, all of our black-bellieds have got very distinct scale patterns or features, and we can recognize them. Sometimes they've got pale scales, and the different patterning of the pale on the scales is quite obvious. So when they've got those distinctive features, they're very easy to identify. I mean, I can see a picture that somebody took of one of our pangolins 10 years ago and tell you which pangolin it is because of the scaling of the pattern.
How long do they live?
Nobody really knows. I presume you could say as long as a small cat, a house cat, 10, 15 years, because they're very similar to a small house cat. But they're much slower breeders than house cats because, you know, house cats have a litter of 5 kittens every 6 months. Pangolins have 1 pup every year and a half, probably, yeah.